Hey everyone, it's Eric Silvermoon, and this is day 11 of my 31 days with the goddess Morgan, the Dark Mother. And so today I actually want to do a meditation. I actually did a lot of stuff. So I'll tell you what I did. So I did the meditation with the second goddess that is, a part of the triple goddess aspect of the goddess Morgan, which is Badb. And Badb is the death goddess, and I feel that she is. I mean, they're all three of them are death goddesses, but I think Badb is the main death goddess, and the reason I say that is because um, she not only is the womb of the afterlife. She allows people to. She has this giant cauldron, and she allows for those that have passed to either come into the cauldron of life to either be reborn or kind of just hang out and rest for a little bit before they decide to go into that afterlife. And so it's pretty interesting when you start breaking into the three sisters, as they call them, or the three goddesses, three different phases of the faces of the goddess Morrigan. And so working with her has been kind of really really interesting. It has definitely brought up some things on things that I need to kind of question the transitions of things. And so I just thought it was really cool. And so I wanted to do that same thing I did with Maka when I did that guided meditation, which really wasn't too much of a guided meditation. I was just reading something. And so I want to go ahead and do the same thing with Badb. And if there's one for Anu, I want to do the same thing. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this. Just to let you know again, these are not my spoken spoken words. They're I'm reading from the book by Stephanie Woodfield, which I absolutely love and I am devouring, and I'm just resonating so intensely with it. It is so juicy, and so I wanted to go ahead and share that. And I already filmed that part, and then today I actually was just so moved by it, and I was so inspired to draw, and so I already worked on my book of shadows as well. So it's about 1 o'clock, and so I've been up since 5 in the morning, just and knee deep in it, and and it was just I woke up and I started reading and I started learning, and then I recorded the meditation or my spoken words, and then I just started making the video. And after the video, I was like, I need to open that book of shadows. I need to delve into it, and then I just recorded that too. So I won't show that the book of shadow workings till tomorrow for day 12. Um, that way, it kind of gives me a nice little break Monday. I think that was a gift from Badb, is that she wanted me to kind of go through the whole motions all at once so that I can at least give myself one day of not recording anything. And so I was like, okay, cool. I think I need that. So I was like, okay, because I've been recording every single day on the actual day. And so this is the first time that I did 2 videos, which is going to give me a free day. So it was kind of neat. And so I hope you guys enjoy. I hope that I do justice to the book, to Stephanie Woodfield's words, and that I honor Badb in this really cool way. And so thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this. Blessed be.
In your mind's eye, you look down at your hands and find that the lines and shape have become less distinct, slowly changing into silky black wings. You feel the rest of your body shrinking, changing bit by bit, into the body of a raven. You test your new wings with a few hesitant flaps, then launch into the sky. Below, you can see gently rolling hills and lush rivers covering the land. As you are taking in the scenery, something catches your eye, and you circle downward to investigate and land on a bare tree branch. Smoke rises from the small valley, and you watch as men and women fight one another. As you watch them, you realize the sunlight reflecting off the warrior's sword was what caught your eye from above. One of the warriors falls, and after a few moments, you see a strange silver mist forming over the body. You watch as a crystalline mist forms into a translucent version of the lifeless warrior on the ground. And you know this is the warrior's spirit. Reverting back into the silver mist, the spirit warrior rises above the battlefield. Quickly, you take flight, following alongside the spirit and making spiraling circles around it. The light that pulses from within the mist fascinates you. You feel compelled to follow it. You rise higher and higher until the world seems to shift and change. It was midday just a moment ago, but now the sky has changed to the muted gray of twilight, and you can't quite tell if it's dawn or dusk. Below, the battlefield is gone. You fly with the spirit until you notice a large mound below you. The spirit sees the mound too and begins to descend. Once on the ground, the warrior returns to his or her human shape, and you land on the spirit's shoulder, which is surprisingly solid and warm. The warrior approaches the mound's base, and you notice the mound has a doorway carved into its side that is lined with large stones carved with intricate spirals. The warrior passes the stone threshold, and you are in a long, dimly lit tunnel. The warrior continues deeper into the fairy mound, and it seems like a very long time before the tunnel widens and you enter a large hollowed hall at the very heart of this hill. You hear the sound of boiling water before you see the large black cauldron in the center of the hall. An old woman stands just behind it, whispering to the churning waters. The crone sees you both and motions for the warriors to approach. The woman, although old and bent, has a kindly face, and when she smiles at you, you feel completely at ease in her presence. You somehow know she is Badb of the Morrigan. Death is only a new beginning. You have made this journey many times before and will make it again. If you wish, you may wait here in the other worlds and rest for a time, or you may make the return immediately to the earthly plane. The choice is yours. The spirit considers for a moment, then decides to return. Badb nods and turns her attention back to the cauldron, her outstretched arms making a circling motion over the waters. As she does this, the liquid begins to swirl like a tiny whirlpool, reminding you of the spirals carved in this mound's entrance. Smiling, the warrior turns to you and thanks you for escorting him or her on the journey. Badb extends her hand and you flutter across to her as the spirit enters the cauldron. The fallen warrior glows brightly for a moment, then vanishes. Badb points to the now still waters. In the reflective surface, you see a woman in labor. At the midwife's urging, she gives a final push, and a tiny baby enters the world. As the midwife presents the child to the mother, you recognize the warrior's soul in the newborn's body. "Remember, little one," Badb says to you, "nothing in the universe remains stagnant. Everything is constantly changing, moving around the wheel of life. Without death, there can be no rebirth. I am the death blow and the midwife of the soul. It is to I you will come at this life's end, and it is through me that you shall be reborn." The figure of the woman and the mound begins to fade, and you feel your wings changing back to fingers and arms. Slowly you change back into yourself. As the scene fades to black, you find yourself back in your human body.